Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I just wanted to hop on here and show you my 11? I think I added a quick one at the end. 10 or 11 tips to always just look a little bit more fashion forward, a little bit more stylish. You know, before I did YouTube, I worked in the fashion industry doing visual merchandising. So I'm all about like adding those extra special touches to make, you know, the mannequins or the racks just like look a little bit more elevated. So this is something that I'm super interested in. Oh gosh, like I hate telling people what to wear and what not to wear. So these are really just kind of 10 or 11 tips that I personally like to follow, and if you trust me, if you trust my style, then maybe you can follow them as well. So I'm gonna show you my tips on how to always look a little bit more stylish, a little bit more fashion forward, and a little bit more elevated. We'll start with rule number 1, which kind of bleeds into rule number 2, but I thought it was big enough that it needed its own rule. So rule number 1, always add a belt to a blazer. And this is such a big one for me. Whenever I am in doubt and I do not know what to wear, I know I've told you guys this before, I grab a blazer and I put a belt over it. It's like a no-fail system. It works every time. Or just adding a belt in general, to be honest. Like, if you're just doing jeans and a t-shirt, I mean, it's such a casual outfit that I think will honestly just never go out of style depending on how you style it. I mean, there's multiple ways you can style jeans and a tee, but just adding a belt can just make such a difference. It breaks up your bottom and your top. It adds an accessory. It adds some hardware. I even have some oversized like sweater dresses that I purposely buy oversized just knowing that I'm gonna belt them. So sweaters, white button downs, just belt it all. You know, and I love buying oversized things, but sometimes I don't always like wearing oversized things. I just like the option to. So if I can ever add a belt, if I need more of a polished look and something that's not so messy and disheveled as I like to look a lot of the times, but in a good way, I'll just add a belt. Rule number 2 is extremely obvious, and it's gonna be on any how to always look stylish list you could ever come up with, but it is to add an accessory. That's why I said rule number 1 bleeds into 2, because a belt is an accessory. Add an accessory, even just jeans and a t-shirt, add a hat. It completely transforms your entire outfit. You could add, I have like signature necklaces that I always wear, some like vintage lockets. So just creating your own like signature jewelry look with necklaces, bracelets. So just doing little things like that can really make you look more fashion forward and just a little bit more accessorized. Instead of doing a regular purse, I always like to play with my bags. So I'll do a fanny pack, I'll do like a crossbody, like a belt bag, but wear a crossbody so it's kind of sitting up high, or even a pouch. I've been seeing a lot of pouches lately. This one, it obviously doesn't have to be designer. Any type of like unique shaped bag, I think, is such a cool element to add to an outfit. Number 3 is staying up to date on smaller trends. So I personally, when it comes to my wardrobe, I like to keep things minimal. I don't buy too many trendy clothing items, but you can always keep up with trends in other ways. And this could just mean something so small as adding a couple of bobby pins, you know, like you've been seeing everywhere. Some other things I have are hair bows. If I'm just wearing a super basic outfit, but I just feel like something's missing, I'll just throw my hair up in a ponytail, like a low ponytail, and add a bow. You could do a headband. Any type of headband works, or you could even do a fun pair of socks. These are tricky. These are not easy to style. Like, you have to be wearing the right thing or else you'll look like you're 7 and going to church on Easter Sunday. My next tip, I think number 4 or 5, is making sure your proportions are correct. So what I mean by that, and again, this is where I hate telling people like how much skin to show or not, because honestly, you show however much skin you want, like it makes me no difference. But when I am showing skin, if I'm doing like a crop top, I will make sure that I'm doing like a high waist, kind of baggier jeans. So I would never do like a low rise skinny with like a tiny crop top. That's just not my style. Again, if that's your style, you go for it. That's all you. Or if I'm doing like a shorter skirt, I'll do like an over the knee boot or a blazer to kind of cover up my top, make sure I'm not showing cleavage. So I kind of like to balance out those proportions. And what I also mean by that is just making sure your items are fitting well. So there are such things as like oversized items, and you know, buying a jacket in an extra large because you want to wear it that way. And when I think of something like this, I think of like a pair of pants that you need to get taken in the waist because they're a little saggy in the waist and they're supposed to fit a little tighter. So you just want to make sure that things like that you have tailored to fit your body, unless you're just wanting them oversized to style it a certain way. My next tip is don't be afraid to combine your colors. And you know, I am such like an all black person. That's my favorite way to wear clothes. it's just black all the time. But it's crazy how good your outfit can look when you are wearing like a monochrome look. And this doesn't have to mean exactly a color. Like to me, this is considered a color. This is oyster, let's call it that. This just is such a great color combination with like dark brown or even black. They're just two super basic items that you can pretty much wear with anything. So just, and then if you're wanting to go all out and do a color, I love something like this, especially for spring. So, you know, like a wide leg, really rich salmon pant with a super almost like beigey colored blazer. So I think you guys get the idea of mixing colors. I even think like your grays can work as well. So just depending on like the colors that you have in your closet already, I'm sure you can find something before going out and shopping and like trying to like make all these monochrome looks like in your closet. I'm sure you have something. My next tip is to wear vintage. I can always tell when I'm seeing vintage on somebody, and I just think mixing vintage and new is just such a great way to style an outfit. So I grabbed this vintage Chanel bag that I pretty much wear with everything. It's one of my favorites. I just grab it all the time. Buying vintage doesn't always necessarily mean spending thousands of dollars. I got this vintage Gucci bag for $80 on Poshmark, and it is really well loved. Like the inside is completely messed up, but I loved it, so I grabbed it. And I actually negotiated down. She wanted $120 for it, but I got it down. Also, I grabbed these vintage Ralph Lauren boots from Poshmark. I want to say these were like 20 or 30, but I wear them all the time and get so many compliments on them. And I think they just complement any outfit that I'm wearing, especially something like this when you're just needing like a pop of brown. My favorite is vintage jewelry. I love vintage jewelry, big rings, also jackets. I think you can find some really great jackets on Etsy or even your local vintage stores. So my next tip is always to wear one unique piece. And I know this is impossible for every single outfit every day, but I try to do this at least like 3 to 4 times a week because I don't have that many unique pieces. I only have so many clothes. But I'll show you an example. So for example, instead of wearing just a basic tank top, I have this shoulder pad tank top from the Frankie shop that I wear in place of that. And it really just adds kind of an extra element of style to my outfit. Or instead of a basic white button down, I have this oversized like puffy sleeve button down that serves the same purpose, but it just has like a unique feature to it. I've got something like this vest was $12, and I can just put it over pretty much anything, any white button down, any t-shirt, any sweater, and it just adds like a little layer. I mean, it weighs pretty much next to nothing, but it's crazy what something like this can add to your outfit. Then even outerwear. So, you know, even though this isn't a super unique piece, it's like an oversized vest. See like my sleeves sticking out. Obviously sometimes you need like a big coat and there's nothing you can do about it, but when I can grab something like this. So my next tip is wearing something printed, and this could be mixing prints or just wearing one item that's printed and basic jeans. But when I'm mixing prints, I always like to mix kind of prints that I wouldn't necessarily think go together. So for example, I've got this outfit. It is a like dark plaid skirt and this just white striped button down, which like here, it doesn't really do anything for you, but once you add a big belt, you add boots, and you like do the whole thing, it completely makes it like wearable, and I love it. Although some of you might be like, Ashley, still doesn't work when I'm looking at it on. I like it. I think it goes really nicely together. The thing about mixing prints is not everybody's going to agree, and that's just kind of the rule of style in general. Like, sometimes people just might not agree with what you're wearing, but as long as you are comfortable and you're happy with it and you're expressing yourself, that's honestly all that matters. But this is the type of print I like mixing. This is also another print that I love as well, just like a blue stripe, because the stripes are so small. So if you have any bigger printed items, you could pair like a smaller stripe top with it. And I'm just seeing like this, probs not. Next tip I have is very obvious, and I feel like stupid for even telling you guys, but self-care I think is a huge part of looking stylish and elevated and fashion forward. For example, my nails right now, need to paint them. Even though it's not that bad, to me it's driving me crazy. Even small things like your makeup. So I always, you know, try to wear my daytime makeup during the day, nighttime makeup during the night. For me, I wouldn't feel comfortable wearing like giant false lashes, overdone makeup during the day. It's just not my style. Again, if this is what you like, you know, I know somebody told me one day that I had too much makeup on and I almost blew my top. I was like, who are you to tell me? But I think you guys know what I mean. I'm talking about like smoky eye, big lashes, like bright lipstick. I just feel like are meant for the weekend and like at night and not so much for like work. I mean, that's obvious, right? I don't know. Maybe I'm overstepping. I'm so sorry if I am. And then I think there are things like knowing how to style your hair with what. So if I have, you know, like a giant ruffled sleeve top on, I try not to let my like mop hair over it, because then it just kind of looks like a lot is going on. So when I'm wearing, or if I'm trying to look sophisticated and I'm trying to look like sleek and, you know, I'm going to like a meeting, I'll always like pull my hair back. I think pulling your hair back, you know, maybe even like putting a few pieces down really like shows off the piece of clothing you're wearing. It gets like the hair out of your face, because no one wants to be like in a meeting with mop in their face. I always find myself when I'm in a meeting and I have my hair down, I always find myself playing with my hair, pushing it out of my face, and I think it's distracting and a bit unprofessional. So I always try to be aware of where I'm going, what I'm wearing, what does my hair look like right now, and try to like rotate it around there. And when in doubt, go back to the bobby pins. If you need to bobby pin some back, that always helps too. So my next tip is to really stay on top of your shoe game. And I realize, you know, not everyone, including myself, can just go out and buy tons of new shoes all the time, every season. So it's like hard, you know, I like don't want to tell you guys like go out and buy more shoes, but when I'm gonna update something in my wardrobe, I start with shoes, because that can really make such a difference. For example, lately, instead of putting on my black, like chunky boots that I always do, I've been putting on this white boot, and it makes me love my outfit even more. I just feel like I have a unique piece on. Sorry, my camera overheated and I don't even know where I was. Shoes. So instead of doing like a flat or like even a sneaker, I think something like this is very, I've had these for probably 6 years. So, you know, it doesn't have to be something trendy. It can be something that you rewear every season, just kind of putting in place of basic flats or just basic sneakers. And next, instead of doing, you know, a basic over the knee boot or like riding boot or something, update it to something with laces. So maybe something laced in the front like this to make it a little bit more interesting. Again, you can still wear these with jeans, dresses, skirts, anything. So it's really just kind of taking the place. If you want to get super crazy, you could get a red boot, a yellow boot, some sort of color. Maybe just try to swap that and see how you like it. But I know like Mango has some really cute yellow boots right now that I have my eye on. I think they're perfect for spring and really add like something huge to your outfit. Like a yellow boot just completely makes the whole thing. So yeah. My last rule that I added last minute, which I believe is number 11, is add texture. So I love faux leather. So these are two of my favorite pieces. This is just a basic pencil skirt, but I think the color, it looks a little camely. It's actually more of like a rich brown color. Faux leather can really make such a huge difference when it comes to your outfit. And then these are one of my favorite pairs of trousers right now, and they're this really pretty like beige colored, you know, just throwing these on instead of a pair of jeans. When I used to work in fashion, people would always ask, how do I wear like cool like leather pants and like cool joggers and trousers? And I always tell them it's so simple, just swap, like instead of putting on your jeans, just put on the trousers. Like just act like you're wearing jeans. And who was I talking to? I was talking to someone who was a stylist not that long ago, and she said the same thing, like just act like it's jeans. So normally with this top, I would wear jeans with it. It's just a, you know, cute like button down. But instead, I threw these on with it, and it completely made my outfit like different. And it made me feel good, and I loved the outfit, and I felt cool wearing it because I'm wearing, you know, like not jeans and a cool pair of pants, and I'm rocking it. And some of you might say I'm not, but I believe I am. All right, those are my tips. I hope I remembered everything. I made this super long Google Doc. Try to remember everything so I can really get my points across. And again, like, please do not think I'm telling you guys that you're doing something wrong, that your way of styling your outfits is wrong, because I, like, even if I don't love somebody's outfit, I can so appreciate that it is their personal style and their way of like feeling good and expressing their creativity. So these are just things that I came up with for myself that I always try to follow. So hopefully it gives you guys some inspiration as well. And also, like, please don't feel like you need to go out and buy like an oversized blazer, a hair bow, a big belt, new shoes. look in your closet first, shop on Poshmark, shop secondhand. Like, you know, my biggest fear is that people watch these videos and get so much inspiration and think like I need to go buy everything, because I've totally been there. You know, when I was like working fashion, it was so hard when new collections would come in and I would see people wearing it and how it was styled, and I just wanted to buy everything. And you can't put yourself in debt over, you know, someone's YouTube video, or you know, if you have a wish list and it's something, a goal that you want to work towards, to buy a few new things here and there, that's totally fine. But please don't, like on my account, try to go buy a bunch of things. Shop in your closet. You would be so surprised at what you can find. All right, with that being said, I'm rambling now. I'm gonna go so I can edit this video and get it out to you guys, but I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed my tips, and I hope you learned something and got some inspo, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.